Hi, I'm going to go ahead and call tonight's board meeting to order. Ms. Laura, can you do roll call, please?
I will. Member Bonslett? Here. Member Ciociola?
Here.
Member Core?
Here.
Member Lamb?
Here.
Member Pretty? I'm here. Member Quilty?
Present.
And President Domi.
Here.
Thank you.
So tonight in closed session, we'll be talking about expulsions, personnel listing, conference with labor negotiator. Are there any public comments on closed session today?
There are not.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and recess to closed session. Hi, we're gonna go ahead and recall to open session. Can we go ahead and stand for the pledge of allegiance, please? Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any requests for agenda reorganization? There's nothing to report out of closed session, so we'll start with our student reports. Hello, Ms. Carmen.
Good evening, board and audience. I hope you're having a great day. Today's agenda is going to be short since we are coming close to the end of the year. So I want to start off with prom. Prom was on May 10th. It went really well, and there was a lot of students, I think more than usual, and we had a lot of engagement. And a lot of the students, they liked the theme, which our theme was Golden Great Gatsby kind of. And it went really well, and the DJ was good. And then for our class points competition, today the seniors actually they did win, and so tomorrow they'll be rewarded with free Kona Ice at lunch. And then this week seniors are working to complete all their work and get cleared for graduation, and I think senior finals are tomorrow and the day after, and then grades are due. And then the stoles and cords are being rewarded to students with extra clubs and activities. One of the cords that is actually being rewarded that was today, and I think tomorrow, was the sports med and culinary cords, which is for the CTE pathways. And then the new ASB positions are being filled right now, and also class positions, so the senior, junior, sophomore, freshman positions, they're all being filled right now, and ASB is working on getting it ready for next year. And then last week we had outdoor rally, which is something new. We don't really usually do outdoor rallies, but it was kind of carnival themed, and there was a bunch of water balloons and stuff, and it was really fun. A lot of people liked it. And then some things that are coming up. Senior Sunset is on Thursday, May 29th. We're having a baseball parade on Friday for the team because they've been winning a lot and they've been doing well in their competitions. And then our senior breakfast is on Monday, June 2nd. Our graduation is next Friday on June 6th. Also grad night and last day of school is also on June 6th. And then our finals for juniors, sophomores, and freshmen begin on June 4th. And then I just want to say thank you so much for all the opportunities. I had a great time here, and I wish you all very well.
Thank you.
Good evening to the school board, cabinet, and audience. It's the end of another school year already. Time flew. We've wrapped up AP testing and spring sports, where our Falcons worked hard and have now made it to the final stretch. Our seniors recently had commitment day, and I want to thank Miss Lamb for coming. It really meant a lot, and we were happy to see you there. Our seniors are pursuing higher education from Yuba College to Sac State, from UCLA to even as far as Columbia on the East Coast. Many of our seniors also plan to go to trade schools such as UTI. Whatever their plans are, we wish them the best of luck. We've also begun our Senior Spirit Week. Today was the first day, and our theme was A League of Our Own, so we wore our senior shirts, and we enjoyed root beer floats together. Tomorrow will be Walking Yearbook Day, where we'll sign each other's shirts. Thursday, we'll have a competition of Baby versus Boomers, and Friday will be one last luau, as we dress up Hawaiian and have one final party in our senior quad. Thursday and Friday are also our senior finals. Monday, we'll start off our final goodbyes through the Kiwanis breakfast and our goodbye rally, where we won't only say goodbye to our seniors, but also to our staff that are retiring. Tuesday through Thursday will be grad practice, and graduation will be Thursday night. And actually, as senior class president, I want to invite you once again formally to our graduation, and I hope you can make it. The rest of our school, the underclassmen, are preparing for finals next week on Thursday and Friday. Seniors don't have school on Friday and will get an early start to summer break. And as another year comes to an end, so does my time as school board representative. I know you'll be in great hands with next year's representative, Chris Dombey, who has been a dedicated member of our leadership and ASB team. He served as its class president and club's commissioner. He's a very hard worker and unfortunately couldn't be here tonight as he was busy with baseball, but I know he'll do an amazing job. I wanted to thank you all for this opportunity, not just for this year, but for last year as well. It's been a privilege to be the voice of my peers at River Valley High School and to form connections with other ASB leaders like Carmen. It's also a privilege that I was able to sit front row into the discussions and decisions that shape our district. I want to say thank you for listening to me and taking an interest for what goes on at our school. I know I stood up here last year and said this was my final meeting, but this is actually my final meeting now. I will be graduating next week and moving on to UC Berkeley to study international relations and pre-law. I will always remember my time here, and I hope to see you at graduation. Thank you for the past 2 years, and have a great evening.
I just want to say you girls are inspirational. You are poised and well-spoken, and I'm very proud to know you.
Thank you, Ms. Reddy.
Okay, move on to staff wants to follow that. That was wonderful. We continue tonight in our tradition of honoring employees that go above and beyond for our programs, our students, and our community. And so tonight we have an employee to honor, and presenting that honor will be Jess Peterson, Principal of Youth and Staff.
And good evening again. It's a great night when I get to celebrate multiple staff members. So tonight we're here to recognize Sarah Van Valkenburg, and Sarah started at YCUSD School in 2010. She taught kindergarten for a few years and then taught third grade for a number of years, was always an exceptional classroom teacher. And last year, she came to me and said, I really think I need a change. I'm really thinking, PE is really intriguing to me. And so we kind of talked about credentialing requirements because Sarah had her multiple subject, and for PE, you need your single subject credential. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe in a few years, we'll come back and see what openings. Well, 6 months later, she's like, Jazz, I have my single subject credential. And it is a rigorous process to earn that credential. The test is very, very difficult. Most people don't pass the first time. Sarah did it within that semester, and luckily we had a K-5 PE position open. And so since she's been in that position, I'm just hearing constantly from K-5 teachers about what an amazing job she's doing in terms of engaging lessons. I think Sarah Daly will offer suggestions to me about how we can change facilities and fix this just to make it a better environment for kids. And so, and teachers approached me about wanting to somehow recognize Sarah, so that's what brought us here tonight. So Sarah, congratulations, and we appreciate your amazing work out at PE. And she's the only female with 3 guys, and has also helped them organize the office.
Can I get a picture of the two of you? Oh, sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you take a picture of all of us?
Oh,
There, that's right. There we go. Smile. There you go.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to mention, so Sarah's daughter, Mackenzie, is here tonight. And I just love following former students and learning about their accomplishments. So Mackenzie Van Valkenburg was a Butte Vista student. Then she went on to River Valley High School, graduated from UCLA, and these are just a few highlights. Had an internship with NASA and was being recruited by multiple law schools and has decided on Berkeley in the fall. So congratulations.
Awesome, thank you guys. We can go ahead and move on to number 11, which is comments from the public on items not on the agenda.
There were none.
Okay, I think there's a question on the consent agenda,
On C.
and if you guys would like to stay, you're more than welcome.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. You really do well. Well, we understand.
But we won't judge you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck with law school.
Thank you so much.
Both of you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
On contracts?
Yeah, contracts and
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, and you're doing pre-law, which is so cool.
Here, it's right here. Okay. Here's my here's the contracts. I don't remember. All right, under contracts for summer school, I wanna know why the Scholastic Book Fair is costing $25,745.
We're doing
Why are
that.
we paying Scholastic for the book fair?
This is an additional program they do for our enrichment program, our ELA program. So typically, what they do is they come into your school sites for all our after-school programs, and they set up book fairs, and kids actually get to get books to take home.
Oh,
So
for free?
Yeah, we use our ELA funding, and it's a different branch of the Scholastic book fair that we're using.
Okay,
So it's different than what you're thinking about during the school year. This is for the after-school programs for something.
okay.
All right. Free books? Can I?
Well, they're not free.
Well, then we pay
Not
for it.
free.
Yeah.
Not for
We
We
paid
pay for it.
$25,000.
Nothing.
for it,
Yeah.
It's free for the kids.
but it's free for the kids. Okay, thank
So,
you.
know, is there, when I was teaching high school, I was always looking for something like that for high school kids, because they want books too. But, you could never find anything. Do you know of anything? I mean, I used to use Presto Cows.
That's one of them I thought about. Just off the top of my head.
Yeah, their Touchstone Classics are amazing. They've got great readers' questions at the beginning, and they've got a really amazing index at the back. So, if at some point in time we could do something for high school kids with
I
books,
could look into that.
that would be amazing. I had an $800 order one year for kids. So,
Wow.
If there's no more questions on the consent agenda, can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve.
I second.
And a motion by member Pretty, second by member Quilty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Action A, expulsion, suspended contracts and readmissions, can I get a
I
motion?
make a motion, we approve as discussed in closed session.
Second.
On a motion by member Quilty, second by member Ciociola, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. B, lift enrichment contract.
This past spring, we started working with LIFT, an organization to provide culinary workshops for all of our after-school programs, all of our KAs. So we did that as a pilot in the spring to see how effective it was. And so it's part of the enrichment program. So this contract is a proposal for the whole year at all 8 of our school sites to use LIFT for next year for enrichment.
But only for after school?
Can I get a motion? There's no questions?
I move that we approve.
I'll second the motion.
On a motion by member Pretty, second by member Quilty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. YCUSD ELOT program.
On the same vein, every 3 years we have to present a after-school expanded learning opportunities plan, working with Mill and our county office and our after-school coordinators. We revised our 3-year plan and we're bringing it to the school board for approval.
There's no questions, can I get a motion?
Move that we approve.
Second.
On a motion by member Pretty, second by member Ciociola, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Inter-budget transfer resolution.
So this is a standard annual resolution that we ask the board to approve. It allows us to close the books. You guys approve the budget, but at the end of the day, when we're closing books, sometimes we have to make adjustments that aren't 100% aligned with the budget that's been approved. This allows us to make the closing entries that we have to do to close the books. And it references the ed codes there that allows us to do it through ed code.
If there's no questions, can I get a motion?
I make a motion we approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by member Seola, second by member Pretty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Proofpoint software.
So this is a replacement software for software that we've had, Barracuda, in the past, and essentially, it's part of our cybersecurity filtering software. We had some hiccups with Barracuda this year, so the technology department kind of went through a process of vetting it to see if we can do better. And this was the cybersecurity software that kind of rose to the top, and so this is what we'd like to move forward with in the new school year.
I have a question. Does this have anything to do with sites being blocked from access?
So
Or is
that
that
is
something
a different filtering, different content filtering system for students. So that's different than this. Yes.
Okay, because I've gotten several emails from different high school teachers that try to do end of year research projects that it seemed like they were very easily able to access different sites last year, but this year those same sites are blocked, including the Library of Congress, which is kind of shocking.
That is a little shocking, yeah. So we just need them to work through with the technology department, the principals, and so it is a constant battle to open up and monitor and kind of figure out which sites to close.
But asking a teacher to put in 2 weeks in advance what site each student is going to be looking at is not realistic. So we've got to find some better way to do it so that, because research is really important, especially in this day and age where kids can just chat GPT everything. If they're actually doing real research, we need to give them the tools to be able to do that. So
100% agree, and that's what we strive to do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. If there's no more questions, can I get a motion? Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by member Core, second by member Quilty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Approval of the KYA group multi-flooring.
It's flooring. So we part of our maintenance plan, we're constantly replacing things, and this is just on our replacement cycle for flooring. Really, obviously, just has to do with the condition of the floors and what's the most need. So this is our summer work for flooring for this year, and we're looking for approval to make these improvements.
If there's no questions, can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion we approve.
Second.
Motion by member Quilty, second by member Seola. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. G, Aries software renewal.
Yeah, this does have my name on it, but it's really our student information system, and it's just renewal of the system that we use.
If there's no questions, can I get a motion?
Make a motion you approve.
My second.
Motion by member Lamb, second by member Quilty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. H, AB 1200 disclosure bargaining CNCA, sorry.
Yeah, so for every agreement with our collective bargaining units, we need to do a disclosure to show that we are able to do what we're offering. So H is that disclosure, and essentially what we do is we take a look at the cost of the agreement and layer it on top of the last budget that we've approved. Our last budget was the second interim, and so this is layering the cost of the CSEA tentative agreement on top of the second interim, which we just settled with YCTA. So really it's a layering of the second interim, the YCTA agreement, and now the CSEA agreement on top of it. So that's what this report is. It describes what's in the tentative agreement and the cost associated with it.
There's no questions. Can I get a motion?
Move that we approve.
Second. Motion by member Pretty, second by member Core. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I, approval of tentative agreement between YCUSD and CSD. So in that same vein of being able to afford it, this is the approval of the tentative agreement. It was reached on May 12th. It has since been approved by CSEA in their 610 process and also ratified by a Chapter 265 membership. And so the agreement provides the following: 23-24 a 0.494 increase retro back, the 24-25 2.77% increase retro back, and then effective July 1st for the 25-26 going forward, 1.10% increase, keeping in mind that was CSEA's selection to have the additional increase instead of being on the health benefits to be in non-salaries.
If there's no questions, can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
And a motion by member Ciociola, second by member Pretty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Board reports, information, discussion? Okay, none. Written communications from the public, I don't think there are any. Comments from employee representatives?
Hang on one
Oh, careful.
Stay healthy until I get to leave. Good evening, I'm Tia Lucas, President of Yuba City Teachers Association. I'll start by saying thank you for the recognition tonight. I did not expect it since I snuck mine in late. It's not easy to lead this work. I left my classroom last year and devoted this entire year to being YCTA president, and I feel like I got a family of 700 who I really believe in the work that YCTA members do every day of the school year. And it's hard to lead them. It's hard to lead people who you represent, people you believe in, and people for whom you have profound respect. But when we reached a new contract, we were full book this year. I expected negotiations were going to go into next fall. And then when we settled in March and a couple of things wrapped up, I was like, might be a good time to leave YCTA in the very capable hands of Heather Fee, who will be the YCTA president next year. It is the end of my 35th year here in Yuba City Unified, and it's another hard thing. This has been what my life has been. For more than half my life, I've been a Yuba City Unified employee. That's profound. So it was not easy, but I'm grateful for my years of service and the work I got to do and the students I got to serve and the YCTA members I got to represent. So it's not easy going on. Doreen watched me struggle with it multiple times, but I finally hit send. So it's done now. I assume you got it since you did that recognition tonight. So today our YCTA team spent the day in our office working on finalizing that contract. So once you reach a tentative agreement for a new full book, the next step is printing that contract. That's a significant task because in the time since the last printing in 2022, we've reached 2 tentative agreements and multiple side letters. All of that has to be incorporated into the new contract and reread to make sure you got it right, get the formatting right. So we're still working on that. And that's where I was between meetings and then I got distracted. So we hope that we'll be able to sign off on that very soon and print that new agreement. Couple of other things I'd like to point out with regards to decisions made with regards to tech. Those folks who are tech savvy folks who work in the tech department approach tech from a different perspective than a teacher in the classroom who is about to implement tech. We would strongly encourage the district to vet all tech decisions that are going to be classroom dependent through classroom teachers. For example, things like the height of your BenQ board. Apparently tech made a decision that it should be this high, but in a classroom where a classroom teacher says, no, my kids can't see it that high, I need it this high, the answer they get is, well, no, we made a decision, it's going to be that high. The classroom teacher is telling you, no, my kids need it this high. I think it's going to be critical that we vet those decisions to the people who are going to implement the classroom with kids in the classroom every day. And that comes into play with when we change security systems as well as to what's blocked and all. So just not that those decisions should be final, but we need to vet those decisions to people that are going to use them. We also continue to hope the district will work on continuing to find ways for those hard to hire positions, especially in special education. our ed specialists serving our students in the mild, moderate learning centers and the SVC programs, our speech and language pathologists. Every district is struggling to hire. We need to make sure we're out in front and able to hire the very best in those areas with serving students with IEPs, but also in all of our other areas. We're still looking for a math teacher, for example, another hard to hire spot. And finally, with regards to the community day school, it is exciting that the city is moving forward with the community day school and implementing the discovery program. There are impacts and effects of that decision that we continue to negotiate with the district and look forward to finalizing. Those include the fact that in a community day school, those kids who were in danger of being expelled or who were expelled actually have more instructional minutes than the students in the regular 6-8 program. So they have 360 instructional minutes in the program for our 6-8 students. That has an impact on the teachers who will be working in the community day school. There's other issues we hope to address, such as adequate supervision, adequate administration time, adequate security personnel, and eventually housing it in a place where there's plenty of room. We do believe in the promise that this discovery program in a community day school offers. You saw the success in the first semester, and we look forward to future success in this discovery program as we've been able to show this is an effective intervention for those kids to bring them back to their home schools as effective students. And if we can save them in middle school, that's going to smooth their transition to high school and life beyond. So thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening, board, community, staff, anybody else who's out there watching. I was told the other day, somebody told me I was one of the 5 people on Zoom. So there's 5, 6 people on Zoom. Hello. Congratulations to our retirees. Classified retirees are a little difficult because we don't have to wait till the end of the school year. We can pretty much retire anytime we want. And if we're really smart, we'll retire in December, because then we don't have to wait a whole year and a half or 2 years to get our COLA from CalPERS. So that's why you see so many end of the year retirements. Scott's like, oh, that makes sense. Ding. So that being said, doing a rough estimate of classified employees that retired, it was over probably 300 years of service. And I'm sure that the certificated far matched that, because we had people like Dina and David and they can match that almost all by themselves. Dina, it's been a pleasure working on campus with you. I've been with Dina for same campus for 20-something years, and having this role together on the same campus where we can collaborate has been really, really helpful to, I think, both of us. So thank you. You approved our tentative agreement. We appreciate that. And as you know, Jordan stated our numbers, and we did choose to take our money on salary instead of on a salary onto our benefit cap, which was not an easy decision. We talked about it back and forth. We originally asked for some money on the cap, but not all of our employees are benefited. So that's money that they don't get the benefit of seeing. So by putting it on our salary cap, it overall benefits everyone, especially our newer employees who hopefully will be here a long time. So that salary just continues to compound. So it's really to their advantage to have it in their salary and let them pay out a salary for their health insurance. Although I know we like to see that number down. Also in that contract were things like some enhancements to our bereavement leave, which take away that 3 and 5 days, but just if you need to be out on bereavement, you have 5 days to get through that, however you choose to take it over that period of time. So that was good. And we also put in language for reproductive loss leave. So as you know, you may or may not know, reproductive loss can be devastating, be it a miscarriage, a failed adoption, whatever the case may be. And so in line with the law and that sort of thing, we made sure that that got in there for our employees so that they have that opportunity to have time. Again, it's a bereavement type of issue. Just kind of circle back to those block sites. I was on a college website the other day because the college had reached out to me and I'd reached out to Rob, and I kind of had some questions. I just wanted to see who they were and what they were about. I was able to get into the college, but when I started clicking their links to different like campus life and that sort of thing, completely blocked. So that made no sense at all to me, that part of a site was blocked and not blocked, and it wasn't super important to bring up, but since we're talking about blocked sites, there are those anomalies out there. Last week was Classified School Employees Week, and the week prior to that, we had our chapter meeting where we hosted a taco dinner for our members that chose to come. And then last week, we made sure that we got some cookies or pastries out to all the sites, all the departments, that we didn't want to leave anybody out. So we tried to make a really effort. If we missed somebody, we apologize. But Peggy over here was running around delivering cookies, as was I called up the bus driver and like, hey, could you go take these down to the yard and the maintenance yard early in the morning? So they all were surprised with some morning pastries and stuff. So they really enjoyed that. And then lastly, I just kind of want to close this, that we had approved a visual performing arts job description earlier this year. And I haven't seen one job flown for that yet. So we kind of want to get that going because we did create a job for it. So I'm sure I know there's some dance classes coming next year and some other visual performing arts classes. So I would think that we want to get on that and make sure that we're hiring a few people into those things. So we'll see you next month. So let's say you have a good summer, but we're counting down 8 wake-ups to go before the end of the summer. 8 wake-ups. 8 wake-ups. All I have to do is wake up and get to work.
Thank you. Comments from board members? Comments from superintendent?
Yeah, just a couple things. So we have a junior ROTC program at Yuba City High School that serves both River Valley and Yuba City, as well as Everpal students if they'd like to enroll. But they were just recognized, I guess they call them streamers. There's 2 streamers, one for most improved unit for the 24-25 school year, and also recognized as a unit achievement and received a unit achievement award. So kudos to our ROTC program as it is continuing to grow and develop. And then, as I shared, our Yuba City High School baseball team are the Division III San Joaquin champions for D3. And so they will be starting their competition to move towards the state, and I believe they will have a game this Wednesday. We believe it's at home. I don't know if that's been officially announced yet.
They won't find out till June 1st. They're probably going to host. So the first game is June 3rd, and then this Friday evening they have a scrimmage against Del Oro.
Oh, nice! Getting ready for it. And then I would like to congratulate our retirees again. It is kind of very bittersweet for me. Some of them. When I started here in Yuba City, I was actually a county speech therapist and got to work at Lindcrest with Mary Patton, and some of the teachers, Dina being one of them, were my own children's teachers in the audience. So kind of bittersweet. It means I'm getting old. But I just want to congratulate our retirees. David Satterley is just a foundation of Barry. My kids went to Barry, and I just remember David there. And it is true. Weekends, nights.
This weekend.
Yeah, he is, and he, even in 2 weeks out of retirement, he is still there making sure his kids, and he's ready to go on Monday. So thanks to all of the retirees and for all that they've contributed to Yuba City Unified.
Thank you. Next board meeting is June 10th at 7. Open session starts at 7. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
On a motion by member Steele, and second by member Bonslett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.